Could you hear me? There we go. It's finally working. Yeah, I'm so glad you could make it. The first thing I really ask is just, where are you calling from?
Texas.
Fullerton.
From Czechia.
Seattle.
Arkansas.
Vancouver, BC.
Louisiana.
And wherever you're tuning in from, welcome to Milking Ardor. If you're new here, hi. My name is Spencer Chan, and this is my podcast, Milking Ardor. On this podcast, we hear all sorts of stories from people from around the world. We hear people's life lessons that they've learned, the experiences they face, and the passions they are pursuing. If this sounds interesting to you at all, please help me spread the word, because Milking Ardor is primarily word-of-mouth advertisement. So if you could help me get the word out, I would love that a lot. On episode 12, we're going to be hearing from Shelomo. He's a public speaking coach who inspires others to be resilient. Neena Rose, a rising musician who is making it big, as well as GunBoiKaz, or Zach, and he shares what music means to him. Before we hear from our guests, I'm going to cue sponsorship, and we'll get right into it. For those who don't really know you, what's your name and where are you calling from is a good start, I like to ask.
Sure. My name is Shelomo Solson. I'm born and raised in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
And I recently moved to the Philadelphia area to go full-time with Teenage Impact about eight months ago.
Yeah, let's kind of talk a little bit more about that, the Teenage Impact. What is that?
I started Teenage Impact last year, about 13 or 14 months ago. And the reason why is because I was doing a lot of speeches before, and I had my own public speaking brand and personal development brand before. It wasn't Teenage Impact. I was curious on what really helps people overcome a lot of challenges in their life. A lot of people are going through different things in their life. And, some people have been sexually abused. Some people are suffering from bipolar disorder. Some people have been arrested. Some people's parents are divorced. I wanted to interview people around the world on their story, just like kind of you are doing with this podcast.
Yeah.
But mine is geared towards more focusing on what their story was as a teenager. I've interviewed all sorts of people. I'm 70 interviews in right now. And my main mission is to inspire people to overcome the challenges they are going through, become resilient, become confident, and eventually create success in their own life.
Yeah. I think especially now with entrepreneurship, there's just so many different types of entrepreneurs out there. What really sparked this interest for you specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I was bullied as a kid for about 15 years for how I spoke. And English was not my first language. My mom was born in India. Dad was born in Pakistan. Siblings were born in Israel. So I'm an Indian Pakistani Jew, very rare breed. I got picked on for all sorts of reasons. My race, ethnicity, my religion, how I spoke. I wasn't very athletic. I didn't have a girlfriend in high school. I was very shy and my confidence was low.
Yeah.
As I grew older, I realized I loved helping people, especially kids and the youth. And that's how it kind of all started. I enjoy what I do.
For sure. I guess kind of in a way, you're kind of using your own experiences from what you dealt with and really resonating with what happened to you in your kind of youth or in your younger age, that you want to help those who are feeling the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is... Sure, I've asked kind of what is like the general idea of Teenage Impact, but why the name Teenage Impact? Where does that stem from?
Teenage Impact? Well, I want to make an impact in teenage lives.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty...
That's what it stems from. For those who's been following me from the very beginning, I was known as public speaking guy. I'll give a lot of public speaking tips. And then I switched to Purpose Creates Impact, and I wanted to have something with the word impact in it, and I saw Teenage Impact wasn't taken, and so I just went for it.
Right on. And then you kind of go on and give speeches kind of throughout the world, I believe. Is that correct?
Not yet, one day, but
Yeah.
I do, since Corona thing is happening,
Yeah,
I've
for
been
sure.
giving virtual presentations in the past couple months. I have a few more in the months to come as well.
Yeah.
Trying to get more.
And what type of things do you kind of talk about?
I talk about resiliency. I
Mm.
have the three keys to building resiliency. That's my main speech. I give my story, my background, how I overcame those hurdles in college, and how I put myself out there outside my comfort zone and slowly start to get better. And I went from this kid who was always bullied to now other people going to him for advice on giving presentations. And for anyone going through a specific struggle in life, I always give tips on whatever you're going through. You have to surround yourself, well, first you have to surround yourself with the right people. You have to pursue your purpose, because pursuing your purpose, your problems don't go away, but now you shift your problems from the challenges in your life to something much greater than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people to trust the process. There's going to be a lot of unexpected, unfortunate circumstances that happen in your life. Maybe someone, your dear loved one, passes away. Maybe maybe a friend stabs you in the back. Whatever it is, maybe your parents are going through a divorce. You have to realize that everything that's happening to you is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And you won't realize it right now, but maybe 10, 15 years down the road, you're going to look back and say, okay, that was meant to happen for this reason. Just like I was meant to be bullied for 15 years so I can inspire other people.
For sure. I definitely believe that the things that happen to you happen for a reason, like you said, and it always comes full circle if you are resilient enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of talking more about that, just kind of trusting the process. And you kind of go on talking about two different youth. How do you tell them to trust the process when they may be at their lowest points?
I give a story about, my last semester in college. This was spring 2014. Things were finally going well in my life.
Yeah.
I had a very hard time finding what I truly wanted to do, and I kind of picked myself out of this funk. For the first time, things were going well. I was building the skill, I was learning the skill that I've always wanted to learn. I was having a great time. I got really close with my fraternity brothers, and I hung out with a lot of them, and I was close to a lot of them. And then one day after my first day at my job, I was hanging out with my fraternity brothers. We're having pizza, playing video games, we're playing board games. And then my little brother in the fraternity, Danny, he he asked me, "Hey, there's a birthday party going on tonight. You should come." And I passed on it. I was so close to going, but then I said, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pass." So I fell asleep on my couch.
Mm-hmm.
I went home that night not knowing it's going to be a life-changing moment. I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning. TV was on, lights on, phone was dead. I went back. I changed. I got ready for bed. Turned my phone back on, and I called. I had a lot of missed calls, a lot of missed voicemails. Called my fraternity brother back, and to find out that four of my closest fraternity brothers was involved in a car accident when a white SUV was going 120 miles per hour the wrong way,
Mm.
colliding with them head on, created a fire explosion, and everyone died on impact. And the next two, it was rough
Yeah.
because I'm here having a good time, enjoying my last semester in college, and now I just lost four of my very good friends. I had to go to four funerals in the span of 2 weeks. I had to see four parents bury their sons. And it's an image you cannot get out of your head. And for a very long time, I was scared. I was scared to drive on a highway. I was just a little bit paranoid. I would just be on my bed, sitting home crying, looking through pictures. It made me realize years later that life is actually a blessing. I've seen a lot of people around my age pass away, either from car accidents, vacation, cancer, whatever it is. Throughout our entire life, we think that we have our entire life ahead of us, but it can actually end anytime. And why are we going to spend it on worrying about things that we have no control over?
Yeah,
And we should feel grateful for everything in our life, the big events like graduation, moving on to the next grade, getting accepted to a college, and the small events like getting an A on a quiz, maybe a friend complimenting you. Harvard Health had an article, and in this article had two psychologists, one from the University of Miami and one from the University of California. They did a study on three groups. One group was people who wrote down everything they're grateful for throughout the week. Other group was writing down things that they were annoyed with or inconveniences, and then another group were just writing down events, no emphasis on whether they're positive or whether they're negative.
sure.
They found in the span of 10 weeks that the group that was writing down the things that they were grateful for were way more optimistic, regardless of what happened in their life. And they even had less visits to the physician's office, which is surprising.
Yeah,
I always talk about gratitude and that even though no matter what happens in our life, just like the accidents happened and couldn't understand why it was happening,
mm-hmm.
all we can do, we have two things that we are in control over, our mindset and our actions. And as long as we're able to do that, then we are in full control of who we become.
Wow, that was really heavy, but at the same time also very inspiring.
Thank you.
Just to close, do you have any last minute thoughts you want to share? And definitely if you want to plug anything out.
Sure. I would say, you know, let me just compile my thoughts.
No worries.
When I was younger, I was always thinking that there is no end. That just because I'm going to be bullied, I'm always going to be bullied for the rest of my life. Just because I'm not good at speaking, I'm
Mm,
never going to be good at speaking for the rest of my life. Just because I'm not good at writing or reading, I'm going to be terrible at those things for the rest of my life. Just because my friends always pick on me, they're always going to pick on me for the rest of my life. And I always thought that this is going to be my destiny. Just because of a few years in my life, which is a small portion of my life. And at that moment, I think that that is my entire world. As I grew older, I got better at speaking. I have given over 100 presentations,
yeah.
100 podcast episodes, 200 videos, interviewed 70 people. I got better at writing. I got better at reading. I've read over 100 nonfiction books. I love reading now, even though I used to fail the reading assessment test all the time, and I did terrible in the reading SATs. And I used to be horrible at writing. And now I have a book coming out September 15th called Never Fight Alone. If you want to check it out, it's a compilation of those 51 different interviews, and it gives you life-changing tips on what you can do to overcome certain situations in your life and
Yeah.
improve your mental health. And so I was bad in speaking, I was bad in writing, I was bad in reading. And now I do really well in all three of those subjects. I no longer get bullied. Yeah, people make fun of me as jokes, but I no longer take it as offense. I would say I'm pretty positive, and I don't let the small things get to me. So if you're listening to this right now and you're going through something, I don't know what that is, and you think it's the end of the world, it's really not.
Yeah.
It, it's just a small dot in your life. And Steve Jobs has a quote: "You cannot connect the dots looking forward; you can only connect them looking backwards." And when you look back in your life in 10 to 15 years, you're going to say, wow, there's a reason I was bad at this. It's a reason why this happened to me because it set me up for this, or for me to meet this person, or for me to be good at this. Everything in your life has a reason. And if you want to learn more about me and my mission, you can visit me at www.teenageimpact.com. And you can go ahead. I have my podcast there. I have information about my books, my programs, and you can also download. I have a free guide for high school students. It's called the 52 Tips I Wish Someone Told Me in High School. And it's a compilation of a lot of 52 of my life lessons.
Thank you, Shelomo. I'll
Not a problem. Thank you for having me,
yeah,
man.
thank you so much for just taking the time to chat with me today.
Not a problem. Anything you need from me?
That's it for now. I mean, I'll keep you posted for when this will come out.
Sure, man. You're doing a good job, man. Keep going. I'm sure you'll find out ways to manage your time.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'll talk to you later.
No problem. Have a good week, man.
You too.
Good. How about you?
Yeah, it's been doing well. So one thing about artists that I find really interesting that I kind of love is how every artist has a story, right?
Yeah.
You know, so Nina, you're 18 years old and you've tried different genres and now you've kind of gotten to a point where you kind of have an idea of where you want to go in
Yeah.
life and where you want to take your music. What's the story behind Neena Rose?
Well, I've definitely been through a lot of genres, as you said. Like I started off as a
Yeah.
country singer. I was in a rock band for a couple of years. I started doing pop and then I was doing classical, everything literally under the moon I was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a journey to get here, but also it was a journey like growing up as well, because I started from such a young age. So yeah, but I've always been in music kind of thing, and it's always been my first love. And I've tried other things; they didn't work out for me, like sports, anything like that
Yeah, yeah.
didn't work for me. So yeah, I had known this was my passion since I was younger, and I just thought I should pursue it.
For sure. I mean, was there anybody in your life that really kind of pushed you towards music or kind of inspired you to try music?
Well, my dad started playing the accordion when he was younger. I mean, he didn't really introduce that to me until I was a bit older, but still, that was a part of my childhood. And then, obviously, like my manager that I have right now, Tina Cole, she really encouraged me when I was younger. I was like 12 years old when I met her, and she really encouraged me to keep going with it. And obviously, I'm really happy I did. And my parents have been super, super supportive of it. So yeah, it's been great.
For sure. So you met your manager at the age of 12 years old. Like, what
Yes.
was that like? How did that happen? What was your initial thoughts? Do you think that you were going to get to the point where you are now at what, 6 years ago?
Well, I definitely hoped, obviously, but we met through this pilot program that she was running called the Music Quadrant, which was pretty much just a program to teach young artists about the music industry, kind of introduce them.
Yeah,
And we got to talk to a lot of people already in the industry. And so I was a part of it, recorded my first single there and everything. And yeah, she was a great mentor when I was younger, obviously. And then throughout the years, slowly I started gaining traction. And then once it was time to need a manager, she was there. And yeah, so she's always been a big part of my career.
for sure. And uh, kind of just recently, you kind of just blew up on TikTok and just kind of other platforms.
Yep.
What was that like?
It's cool. I mean, I went viral, I think it was last year or like December or something like that. But we got 13 million views. But then after that, it kind of started to die down because TikTok, it like sucks with the way that it works. So it doesn't matter how many followers you have, unless you're in the millions, you don't really get that like consistent number of views. But just recently, I started posting a couple of freestyles and I made it into a little series, and it's been doing pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you kind of mentioned that you have different genres going on or that you've kind of evolved from. how's that kind of being incorporated to your current sound now? How are you trying to find ways to improve yourself?
Well, I definitely have went through a lot of genres, but I think that now, like being at this age, um, like I just love R&B so much, and that's what I listen to like in my personal time too. So it's just so easy for me to incorporate it, but also I have to try to not listen to that much music, although I need to see what's current. I try to kind of remove myself, or else I'll start writing like them, kind of thing.
Mm,
And I obviously, like, I need my own sound, so that's just been
yeah,
like the struggle for me. I have to try to remove myself so that I'm not sounding like every other R&B artist.
for sure.
Yeah.
In a previous interview I saw you on, you're mentioning how, I mean, you're 18 years old, so you're like a teenager still, and rather than kind of going out and going partying and drinking, smoking, you're out with your friends writing music,
Yes.
producing.
Yes. I
And
mean,
that's a huge difference from the other age groups of people your age.
yeah. Well, I definitely do love to party. Definitely a big part of my life. But me and my friends do love to like ground ourselves and sit down and just write music. The other day we just recorded a song summarizing 2020. It was pretty funny. But oh, that rhymed.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and I'm happy that I found a group of friends who like the same things as me, and like will go out and party with me, but then we can also just chill and do our thing.
Yeah, yeah. And have you ever thought about kind of incorporating them into the music that you're producing now, or is this just kind of behind the scenes sort of stuff?
I've thought about it, but they're not really into the whole singing thing. But maybe
Mm,
they can do a little cameo in the beginning. You know how Drake does those
yeah,
like talking parts? Yeah, something like that.
for sure. I mean, just kind of beyond this whole brand of Neena Rose music,
Mm-hmm.
what else about you kind of makes you idiosyncratic, makes you who you are?
Um, Honestly, I think that I'm a very positive person, and I don't know. I just love to, because in this industry, you see a lot of people who start to get kind of full of themselves, or aren't the nicest, and you see that with a lot of like pop stars. But I feel like I just like my mission in life is to just like be positive and like spread light, because there's a lot of negativity, especially this year, and I just want to see like it change for the better. So that's kind of like my message.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what's kind of the drive for you to be so positive and to really spread the word out?
Well, I struggled a lot with mental health, like in my past, and I think now it's just like a big part of it is just seeing that life doesn't have to be that serious, and like it's only as like bad as you make it, kind of thing. And if you can really turn any situation into a positive, depending on how you look at it. So yeah.
For sure. And you're also kind of a big person on makeup, or you used to do makeup tutorials. You still
Yes.
keeping up with that?
I haven't posted one in a little while just because we're trying to focus on my music, but I'll definitely be doing a couple more coming up soon. But yeah, I still love my makeup.
For sure. I mean, there's a lot of shitty things going on right now, especially with quarantine, and I'm actually not sure how it is in Canada where you are, but what's next for you? You know, what
Um,
are the next steps?
Well, we're doing a lot of online concerts and stuff like that. I've been going live on TikTok a lot. And just trying to go about it that way, while obviously live events aren't happening until God knows when. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely a lot of online stuff, and contests and all that jazz.
for sure. And to not really put the spotlight on you and kind of be mean or anything, but there's different and a lot of different artists trying to make it out there.
Yeah.
Why should people listen to Neena Rose?
Honestly, I think that all my songs have a story, and it's very relatable to like a huge demographic, like not just 18-year-old girls kind of thing. It can kind of be related to by a lot of different people. So I don't know. I just like to write a story, and I like that people can listen to that and really relate to it, and feel like
Mm,
somebody else is going through the same things as them.
yeah, yeah, I
Hmm.
totally understand that,
Yeah.
and especially with everyone kind of the hype of, okay, I don't want to say hype, but everyone kind of being or having issues with their own mental health, where a lot of people feel alone. I think it's really nice for people to really understand and sit back and really know that they're not alone.
Exactly. And especially in the hip hop world, I feel like these days, like so much of the music is about like sex and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
drugs. And obviously, like, it's fun to listen to, especially like when you're partying and stuff like that. But you also need those songs you can go to and just like either cry to or just sit there and really like think. And
For sure, yeah.
I just want to be that outlet.
Yeah, I mean, where do you see kind of yourself in like 5 years, 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself growing from this moment right now?
Well, a lot of people ask me that. I'm like, I never really know. Obviously, I have like goals and stuff like that, but I just kind of like to see where it takes me because obviously things change. But I'd love to be touring, obviously, and I'd love to just be writing and, you know, meeting fans and stuff like that. That's obviously like the ultimate goal there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just trying to close, Neena, do you have any last minute thoughts or anything you want to say and anything you want to shout out?
Honestly, just be happy and make life what you want it to be. And also make sure to go follow me on all my socials. It's all at Neena Rose Music, Neena Rose Music. So yeah.
Perfect. All right. That's pretty much it for me. Thank you so much, Neena and Tina, for joining me today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted, Tina, and I guess you'll refer that back to Neena.
Yep. Cool.
And yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Spencer.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that mouse. Oh boy.
Yeah, but
Yeah. That's okay. Anyways, I know you go by GunBoiKaz. Is Kaz your real name? Like, what do you go by? I wasn't too sure.
So my real name is Zach,
Oh.
Z-A-K, and Kaz backwards is Zach. So that was like the whole thing behind it. A lot of my friends call me Kaz, but you can call me whatever. It doesn't really matter. Kaz, Zach, I don't really care.
Zach and Kaz. Why? How'd that happen? Why do you think I'm gonna go by Kaz or reverse Zach?
I really don't know. A lot of my friends like started calling me that like a while ago. I don't even remember when.
Yeah.
But it sort of caught on and stayed. So I decided to use it in my artist name.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
What about just kind of GunBoiKaz? Where'd that stem from?
Oh, that's a funny story. So when I was like, shit, I don't even remember. I was in like, I don't remember. I was younger. I had this airsoft gun and it had like an orange tip on it, but like I took the orange tip off, so like, cause I thought it looked cooler, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
what kid wants a fucking orange tip on their real looking gun? So I was at like this little party thing like at my house, and I thought it'd be cool to like play airsoft or some shit. So I took that shit out, and so one of the kids like was like this tweaker, bro, and he thought it was like a real gun. And he told his parents and shit.
Oh.
And like I swear to God, like all like the Karens and shit in the town, and like some of the kids started calling me Gun Boy because of that shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not incorporate that into the artist name so they could just see me flexing on like the internet when I'm bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Where are you
Yeah.
from? I know you said you went to Rhode Island, but where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut. I'm
Okay.
from a little town called East Haddam. It's like in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So like, don't feel bad for not knowing where that is.
Yeah. I see. So I know you're in a relationship, I believe. From the last time I checked, but let's say you're not in a relationship. You're on a first date. What are you saying to this person you're on a date with for them to really get a concept of who you are?
Shoot, that's a really good question. Let's see. I mean, I guess I'd start with like introducing myself, right? I obviously haven't done this in a while. I've been in a relationship for like over 3.5 years, so I guess I'd introduce myself, ask her about herself, you know.
Sure. How would you introduce yourself?
Hobbies.
Yeah, what are your hobbies?
Hi, my name is Zach. I like to make music, and eat Hot Pockets and chill in my room and watch Pokemon. I mean, if you're down for that and if you want to eat Hot Pockets and watch Pokemon with me, like, let's kick it. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's how it would go down.
What's the main attraction to Pokemon even to this day for you?
I don't like feeling like I'm growing up, so I do, like, I don't know. I play a lot of Pokemon. I play a lot of Pokemon Go, and I watch a lot of. I just like Pokemon in general.
Mhm.
I don't know. It just keeps that like playful vibe that I like to, carry around with me. I don't like to be all like serious and shit. I like to be, outgoing and different and stand out. So when people see this scrawny 18-year-old Asian kid walking around in like some big drip like Gucci or something, but also carrying like a Pokemon fanny pack or some shit, it's nice. It's nice to have these heads turn.
Kind of going along with that, just growing up, how do you find yourself wanting to be young and enjoy your childhood, yet also your music is also kind of taking off and that's growing in itself? How do you kind of balance those two of wanting to be a child, like still be enjoying your youth, but also knowing you ultimately do have to grow up? You can't change that.
Yeah, to be honest, it's really hard because I like to, I want to stay young. I don't want to grow up. I don't think anybody does. So it's hard, I guess. But I just kind of like try my best to find time to work on music. Like, and split the times evenly, hang out with friends and whatnot. But then also like, grinding and doing my work, finding time to relax, but also to, go hard.
Yeah, for sure. When did music start for you?
Like around 3 years ago, but
Okay.
I had like this break in between. Um, so when I was in sophomore year of high school, I was going through it really, really bad, like really bad depression, anxiety, addiction and whatnot. And I got sent away for, I think, 17 months, for like this so first I went to this wilderness treatment, which was like 4 months of just literally just living in the woods and doing therapy, and like you're hiking at least like 7 miles a day. Like, you got to filter your own water in the stream and shit, like bummy food and whatnot,
Wow.
all that. And then I went to like an aftercare sort of thing, for another like 13 months. And so during most of that, I didn't like work on music at all.
Uh-huh.
But like on the recording side of things at least. But I did a lot of writing. I did like I swear I think I wrote like over 400 different lyrical pieces. Whether it was like lines,
Yeah.
verses, full blown songs or whatnot, concepts and all that. But when I got back, I made an album out of like the 9 best songs out of that, like chronologically ordered, and that's what my first album was.
Yeah. And even kind of expanding on that, that was your like album debut, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I saw that Love Me Not, or one of the songs, got 1 million listens. Yeah?
Yeah. Num 3.
Yeah, what's that like? How do you feel
It
about
was
that?
crazy. It was crazy. I was like, cause so I've been like working with this artist Zinclair. He's featured on the song. I've been working with him for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of like first started talking to him on Instagram when I saw like one of his Instagram ads, and we both were like not really that big at all. But I DM'd him. I was like, yo, I like your song. Like, we should start working together and whatnot. And so we did. And then I went to treatment and all that. And Num 3 was the first song that I wrote while I was in treatment. And then when I recorded it, I was like, it's missing something, and I needed Zinclair to be on it. So he hopped on it. And Zinclair knows, at the time he knew my manager, Jared. And then Jared reached out to me, and we just sort of like
Hit it off.
kicked it from there.
Yeah.
And he really liked Num3, started helping us out a lot with like pushing it and whatnot. And then once COVID hit, like shit just started really going down the drain. Like funds were getting cut and whatnot. It was not a fun time. Still really isn't, but you know, it is what it is. But I decided to post a TikTok for Num3. And because I was like, I had told my girlfriend at the time, because she was like really into TikTok. She still is. And she was like, or I was like, I'm never gonna download TikTok, never gonna make a TikTok, yada yada yada. And then I was like, you know what, times are desperate, gotta do what I gotta do. And I made a TikTok, and it blew up. It really saved the track for a little while, and helped us get back on our feet. So I was really grateful for that. And now I'm a freaking TikTok fiend. So be on that shit like 6 hours a day, I swear.
Yeah, I feel like we were all about that, or at least like people who got into TikTok were all just really getting it for a joke and like thinking nothing of it. But now we're all kind of just addicted to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with the it looks like it's gonna get shut down, but
Yeah.
I don't even know how many more days we have left till like some US company has to buy it. But I hope like Microsoft buys that shit, because I really don't know what I'm like. Most of my like half of my marketability is on TikTok, so like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Just kind of going beyond that, I know your plans must have changed, but where do you see yourself going with music, or where do you see yourself in possibly like 5 years or 10 years, just in the future? Is music still part of your life, or is this just a passion project now? What is it for you?
You know, I really hope it is for the long run. That's the goal. I want to, you know, pursue it as a career and have it to support a family and whatnot, and you know, live. Maybe stun a little, but you know, that'll come as it comes. But
Yeah.
I want to do it full time and just like pursue it for sure. Really hoping this year goes well. But like I'm not somebody who really likes to think about time, I guess, and like the future and whatnot, because like the future is like my biggest fear. So like I can only you can only hope for the best but prepare for the worst. So you know, that's what I try to do.
I hear you. Kind of going along with your music, who would you say you make music for?
Definitely myself. You know, it's for every artist, you have to make music for yourself, or it's not going to turn out good. If you don't like what you're doing, then other people won't like it either. So, you know, I obviously do it for myself as like a way of expression, because I just suck at words. I'm a really awkward person, so I don't like talking like too much. But so I use music to express myself in that way. But I also really like seeing the effect it has on like my supporters and my friends and my family.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of it. Like if it weren't for the amount of people supporting me, I would probably still wouldn't be doing it right now.
Sure. And I think especially now that you've kind of gotten some exposure through TikTok or just whatever other advertising that was done, where you now have 1 million followers or not followers, 1 million listeners. Surely there's people who've reached out to you and really kind of expressed what that song or what your music means to them. Has that happened?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I get like
What happened?
I get like people in their like 20s, 30s telling me that my song helped them, and I got people who are like, you know, 11 or 12 telling me that their song helped them too. So it's great to see the effect.
Yeah. Just to close, Zach, do you have any last minute thoughts and anything you want to shout out?
I got an album on the way. It's called For You to Cry To. It's gonna be really good. It's different from like stuff that I've dropped. Definitely the production levels are a lot higher quality. But other than that, thank you for having me, man. Like,
yeah, no worries.
This was sick.
And then in terms of like shout outs, should they just search up GunBoiKaz and they'll find you
Oh
on most
yeah,
streaming
yeah. It
platforms?
says GUN space BOI space KAZ. Look that up. GunBoiKaz, Google
Yeah.
it. All platforms.
There you go. I just want to make sure you mentioned you have an album coming, but of course, I wanted to be able for my audience to know which is like where they're hearing it from. The name
For
of
sure,
the
for sure.
artist. For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Zach.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later, and I'll keep you posted for what is to come.
For sure. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for joining me with episode 12 of Milking Ardor. Thank you, QuincyLofi and Matthew May, for the beats I used in today's episode. Of course, thank you, Shelomo, Neena Rose, and GunBoiKaz/Zach. You were excellent guests, and I am so glad I'm able to talk to you. If you are interested in being on Milking Ardor, let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram at _Spence_R_. You can also find other Milking Ardor sorts by searching up Milking Ardor. So, this has been primarily word of mouth advertisement. So I would just want to reiterate that. So if you could help me grow this podcast, I would love that. If not, just make sure you're following the podcast, that you're subscribed or you're following, so you are getting those notifications. Yeah, that's what I would say. So, until next time, I will see you later.